Few thoughts. Number one is around goal setting. Everyone talks about how goal setting is like so important, et cetera, and the importance of a business plan and a vision and manifestation and all that kind of stuff. I've always been historically like anti-goal setting because it's never quite sat right with me that why am I kind of deferring my happiness for a future date when I achieve a certain type of goal, compared to, just focusing on enjoying the journey and like enjoying each day on its own merit. But there is like a balance there between like, it's not a case of live every day as if it was your last, because that would end up, I'd end up being like a heroin addict or something.
Well, exactly, yeah.
But it's like, how do you manage that balance between, yes, you want to grow and you want heights to go big and you want to impact, which is all future-y type stuff, and also you want to kind of be present and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think this is where, cringy, but I think this is sometimes where purpose and working and defining on purpose, your company's purpose, your purpose, which can change, by the way. But I think this is where the stuff plays in really nicely, because I don't necessarily think about stuff in terms of goals. Goals always feels a little bit, it's not necessarily true, but it feels a bit mercenary or financially led, or there's always a reason why you need that goal. Whereas purpose to me is a bit more like a direction of the person that I'd like to become, that I'm on the way to being, that every day that I am working towards living my purpose is a step in the right direction, and I'll make mistakes and I'll forget to live it entirely one day or whatever, but it helps me knowing that I'm going in the right direction. And because I'm a bit of a hippie, I believe that by going in that direction for long enough, for consistently enough, and the most important thing here, by the way, is like enjoying doing that. So if you have a sense of where you're going, if you have an idea of what your purpose is, and again, it doesn't need to be some big grand statement. If you have a sense of your own personal values and you ask yourself, what are those values that I'm living every single day, and am I living up to them? Those things will just basically ensure that you are spending more time happy, because you're spending more time doing the things that are serving you well, serving you and serving others. And the compound effect of that is you're more likely to be getting to whatever this sort of magical goal is. Like, being honest, I don't have a set goal. I don't have I want to be, I know we both know and are friends with Stephen Bartlett, right? And he's very specific. I want to be running this 9-figure business in this many years and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's fine, like, for you. For me, I have very different sort of outlook on that stuff, which is I've identified my 5 key guiding values, right? And, they include fluffy words like contribution and impact, right? But how can you, spirituality is at the base of these things, because I think like spirituality is a great base to layer things. Base is a great base. Mental well-being goes above that. Integrity, contribution, and ultimately impact is for me, the key of where I want to see my life's work go. You can't have impact broadly if you're just impacting one person. Like, you can, but if you are an entrepreneur like me and you do think big and you think about scale, and that's just inherently how I think, I know by putting at the top of my pyramid of values, if you will, I want to have impact. Inherently, I have to think big. Apparently, I have to think about how am I going to have an impact on more people, because I happen to care about emotionally. I've had a personal experience with mental well-being. It is bonkers to me that nutrition can play such an enormous impact, and that we can create products, high quality products, a great brand, which plays into my creativity and the things that I'm good at. The fact that we can build a great brand that can have that kind of impact, that stuff all serves me well. But there's other stuff that I can do with impact as well. And I might not be doing that today, but as long as I'm sort of leading up towards where that might go in 10, 20 years, I like that I don't have a clear idea of who I am in 20 years, only that it will be leading to impact because I will be contributing. Does that sort of make sense?
Yes.
And I think a very succinct way of saying this, because people talk a lot about passion as well, is I think, and I have thought a lot about this, but I think that your passion is something that you do for you, right? You've got a guitar over there. Maybe that's a passion of yours. So your passion is for you. Your purpose is for others. So as long as you're thinking about where your purpose is going, and I mean, you've got a great example, right? You're an educator online to millions of people. That's purpose. There's other people. But guitar, for all I know, you're shit, but you have fun. That's great. Yeah, there you go. Passion.